respects to those who lost their lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask you to stand to observe a moment of silence in memory of the members of the Brazilian Football Club, Chapecoense. Thank you.
Dignified and solid. Just about everything else into perspective. Quite beautiful backdrop here at the National Football Stadium. The first of our two matches here on finals day. Before the main event, there's a place on the podium at stake as the USA and Japan contest the match for third place here at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Both were taking the distance in the semis a full 120 minutes. But if this one's level after 90 minutes, we'll be going straight to penalties. The USA in a black and blue strip today, Japan in white. I did wonder about Hasegawa for Japan. Their number 8, she's going to play up through the middle. Here she is. Momiki, sprightly and nimble ahead of her here. That's a nice little link up with Hasegawa. And with Moria down the right side of midfield and Miyagawa here at right back. I have to say these pink numbers don't do commentators or fans any favours trying to pick them out from long range. Nicely marshalled by Emily Fox there. Looks like the USA are starting with Hedge up through the middle, Pugh on the right. Sanchez and Hedge, the two central strikers for the USA here. Ogle slipping and recovering, finding Kaylee Reel and Taylor Otto. Two centre backs who've been a constant in front of Casey Murphy in the USA goal here. Is Ogle. Much more familiar look to the USA defensively today, with Maddie Elliston playing on the right and Ellie Jean down the left. The substitutes for Japan, Hirimatsu, their normal captain. She's played all of the 480 minutes in the tournament so far. But gather she had a problem with a knee during training. So they have history Haza alongside Ichise. And Momiki, as a result, is wearing the captain's armband today. Sanchez. He's got Hedge ahead of her. Sanchez trying to dart through the middle there for the USA. Covered here by Maddie Elliston. The journey that's taken them over the last 2 years, all the way to Honduras, through to the other side of the world here in Papua New Guinea. It's been quite an adventure. Hisue Haza, who's playing alongside Ichise today, in place of Norimatsu. Used two did actually meet in a warm-up game here in Papua New Guinea earlier in the year. Which Japan won handsomely. Katie Cousins. Fox here. Taking on Miyagawa. It's out by Sugita. USA side of things, it's slanted by the fact that they reckon they were rather jet-lagged at the time, but it was a notable win for Japan. Whether it has any bearing on today, I really don't know, but here's Ogle for the USA. A terrific tournament she's had through the course of the campaign. Mallory Pugh, their captain, really has led by example. Pugh, the most experienced player the USA have at this level. 2 goals in the process, joint top scorer, along with Ali Watt, who curiously has been a ever-present substitute. Of these teams with some prized moments through the tournament so far. The late goals from the USA have been flowing at times. They've got themselves a corner here. Kitagawa. Kelsey Hedge, scorer of the most notable goal for the USA in the tournament. I would suggest that 93rd minute winner against Mexico in the quarterfinals after they trailed 1-0 with just around 10 minutes to go. Goalkeeper has come for this, Chika Hirao, and she's claimed it very comfortably. Good catch for a goalkeeper early on. Might be more difficult with any set pieces from the other side because of the direction of the sun here. Is rather bristling around the National Football Stadium today. Terry DPR's coach talking about the conditions being rather difficult at times. Here's Pugh looking for Hedge, who's offside. Across the face of the USA goal, and they can retrieve it here, and the early ball returned, but not with any great threat on Casey Murphy. Casey Murphy with perhaps the most unfortunate of own goals through the course of the tournament. Against Ghana, in a huge effort from Abambila, came back off the frame of the goal and hit Casey Murphy before rebounding in. One of a couple of own goals we've had in the tournament. Carla of Brazil was another. But you may remember, if you saw Japan's semi-final against France the other day, there was a penalty late on for Japan, which Moniki took. Sort of got squeezed on the line by Milen Chavas before eventually rolling over with a bit of pressure from the goalkeeper. I did check with the technical study group operating here in PNG, and apparently the ruling for own goals doesn't apply when it comes to a penalty like that. So although maybe Chavas had the last touch and you might otherwise have thought it was an own goal, in the case of penalties, the striker always gets it. There is Mamiki. Sumida. Ichise, Sugita, Haza. Now Hasegawa's gone up through the middle again. It's a chance for Miura, who's gone wide left today. Tactically, these two have kept it pretty constant through the course of the tournament. Sumida and Sugita, the two anchors in central midfield for Japan. That's off Ellie Jean. Back in her more accustomed role as left back today, having played as the right winger the other day. Well, it's worth a try. Sagawa, you saw what a tremendous shot she has on her earlier on in the tournament. If you give her too much room, she's quite capable of scoring from this sort of range. Fox fully extended. Here's Momiki. Hasegawa. Ichise. Kitagawa to the left. Now Miura. Maddie Elliston, who was pumping at Penn State during the qualifying campaign. I think we've seen teams here not only improve in their stamina, their physical capabilities, but also very much their tactical awareness. Some of the coaches have talked about this, Michelle French amongst them. Teams rather more sophisticated tactically. Never easy for coaches to pick their teams up after they've been beaten at the semi-final stage, but when there's a chance of a medal here today and a chance to travel back to the other side of the world, whether it's to Japan or the USA, with the bronze medals, well, it's something tangible to show for all that hard work over the last couple of years. These players will go off to try and represent their countries at Olympic Games and beyond. Sagawa, great work. Well, she prevents the USA from managing to get in a tackle here, and she presents Japan with a real goal-scoring threat. A bit of extra thrust through the middle, just behind Momiki. So Sugita's header to Ellie Jean. Well, it is the Japan way, certainly, to press and chase. Asian champions. Once again, their third title in their last 4 editions. Tournament taking place, 16 months or so ago now in Nanjing in China. Jean. Sanchez trying to combine with Fox. Takakura. She's talked about her players learning from the experience here, and the need for them all to individually take responsibility for their own choices when they're out there, whether it's to make a run into space, whether it's to close down an opponent. Coach of the senior women's team in Japan now, having taken over from Norio Sasaki. Two famous adversaries at the Senior FIFA Women's World Cup, 4 times at that level, including the last 2 finals. Japan winning on penalties in 2011. USA 5-2 victors last year in Canada. Ichise, Miura, Sugita, interestingly there, USA, Michelle French has talked of the need for more patience from their players rather than a desperate, panicky clearance into the stands. Sign of how they're growing, how they're maturing. Looking here for Fox, that's a very nice crossfield ball that changes the complete direction of this attack, and she's taken on Miyagawa and put a ball into a very good area with both Pugh and Hedge lurking. Here, who came off, as did Ueno in their semi-final against France, but I'm pleased to say both are okay. You may recall Sakina Karshawi, the French defender. She was taken to hospital actually, but is perfectly okay again now, I'm pleased to say. She will be available. Whether she plays or not is another matter, but for the final of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup a little bit later on, when France face Korea DPR here. Jean. Is that little lapse in concentration. Momiki, back to Miyagawa. Haza. Ichise. Sugita. Momiki. Asagawa. Really good covering by Fox. Not a great clearance though. Straight to Sumida. Now Sugita to Miyagawa. Sugita. Miyagawa. Sugita. Haza. Sugita, the fulcrum of the team at the moment. Well screened by Ellie Jean. Here was that driving run from Emily Fox. She managed to clip it up here, and Hirao did well to prevent it reaching either Hedge or Pugh, both of whom were preparing to attack it for the USA. Sumida to Ichise. Clever running here by Japan. Again, Miura available in support. And they're going to use her here. Hasegawa takes up a more central position. Momiki. Here comes Moria. Well, that's where the USA defenders have to keep nice and tight to their opponents. We've got some fans in the stands with painted faces, a large contingent of Japan fans you can see on the far side there. I'm told that for the final later on it will be a sellout here. We've certainly enjoyed a wonderful tournament here in Papua New Guinea. We have been welcomed with smiles and friendship. Huge enthusiasm to stage one of the sport's prestige events. Sumida gives away the free kick. Balking Ogle. go to the last FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Canada. Didn't actually get any pitch time while she was there. There's been a bit of concern in the USA ranks about the lack of tournament experience coming in. Maybe part of the reason that they haven't quite made it all the way. This thing's broken down, analysed in almost excruciating detail at times. Now Miura, Kitagawa. Fullback's made a good run, looking for Momiki. G needs to cover. Fox is guarding well against Moria down this near touchline. Momiki. That's cleverly worked. They've done that beautifully, and Murphy just has to parry that shot away. Sumida just providing the extra body in the box. Hit it well enough, smartly saved. Well, not the greatest corner routine we've seen here. But the USA at the moment have nobody else forward other than Sanchez here. Japan's wide midfielders have swapped momentarily. Moria now on the left, here she is. Miura down the right. Kitagawa on the outside. Moria. This time it was Sugita who was just bursting through the centre. Haza, Miyagawa to Miura. They telegraphed that. I think Jean stepped in. Miscontrol by Momiki, of all people. Pugh. Certainly when the USA have been at their most aggressive, we've seen the very best of them. At times, when the tempo has dropped, their concentration lack then has just wavered a little. Momiki, Mami Ueno's on the bench for Japan today, both on 4 goals, one shy of the leaders in the race for the Golden Boot. That's in by Moria, and a dangerous one too. Miura coming in from the left side now. Owners have swapped again. All the awards to be taking place after the final here at the National Football Stadium later on. The award for fair play, we have the individual awards. Silver Golden Boot, Golden Glove for the best goalkeeper, which is judged by our technical study group here in Papua New Guinea. As well as the Golden Ball, a very prestigious prize, and the team prizes. So lots to look forward to later on. Up to Moria, Sumida, from Sugita, Miura to the left. Immediately Kitagawa starts to make the extra player on the outside. Miura's shot charged down. Now Miyagawa. interesting to watch Japan the other day training in triangles, and you can see it in their play. One touch to control, then one to lay it off. Kitagawa, Miura, Sugita. Momiki can't grow tall enough. Here's a chance, maybe. Momiki with the final effort there for Japan. Sumida certainly popping up in some very good positions for them. See Sumida there just in the line of fire, really. Here's another angle on the Sumida shot. Nicely covered by Casey Murphy. Tallest goalkeeper the USA have ever had at a World Cup. To be fair, I also have Brooke Heinsohn, who's of a similar height and stature. Goalkeeper from New England Revolution. There's Sugita. Sumida. All a bit tight and congested for the USA. They need to try and expand it out a little bit if they can. Pugh against Miura. When Mallory Pugh gets in her stride, it's elegant, it's lovely. She's found Sanchez, but she's offside. Oh, beautifully worked, and Mallory Pugh saying, come on, get up. How close was this? Well, I'd actually say that looks onside to me. But in the blink of an eye, the assistant referee has to call it. Asagawa, lovely glancing touch to Sugita. Miura wide left. Controls it instantly. Pugh again, going solo. Trying to do too much in the end. Have to applaud her effort, her endeavour. So 3-time winners of this tournament, along with Germany. Korea DPR, the only other country to have won this event. They have a chance to win it for a second time later on against France, for whom it would be a first trophy lift. Talk of consistency, the USA, who've never failed to get past the group stages every time in all 8 editions of this FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, ever since it began back in Canada in 2002. At the finals a couple of years ago in Canada. Their best was actually on home soil 4 years ago. Third that year when they beat Nigeria in the third place playoff. Can they match their best ever here today? Asagawa, Miura, Momiki goes near post, it's beyond her, comes off LEG, hooked away by the USA. LEG. Pulls out. And throw. Once or twice the USA have given possession away rather cheaply here. This is Miyagawa to Haza. Jisei finding Miura with Kitagawa also there. Sugita. And again. Momiki. Nice idea to angle it in behind Fox. Man might still be able to achieve something here with Moria. Fox doing splendidly to keep repelling Japan here. Miyagawa. Momiki. It's Sumida who charged down Ogle. Kitagawa with the final shot, but Japan being thwarted there by some determined USA defending. And with half an hour played, as has been the case in all the matches here in Papua New Guinea, we have a cooling break after half an hour of each half. The heat and humidity are pretty tremendous here. Over 30 degrees for every match, I think, just about. The cut-off for the cooling break was 25 degrees. So the players given up to 3 minutes here to take on board some water, rehydrate, refresh. Well, Japan producing the better moments in front of goal so far. I say, really had Sanchez through at one point, up for the offside flag. Just one shot on target so far, came from Sumida, Japan, well saved by Casey Murphy. Just to look back over one or two moments from the opening half an hour here. The Japan 21, actually 12 of their squad play in the top division of the Women's Professional League back in their country. Been a fascinating experience to be here in PNG. When you go through the town, you see all the streams of wealth. There's brand new 5-star hotels going up, areas of regeneration, in contrast to some ramshackle huts and houses and security fencing. Certainly by the roadside, it's an opportunity for some of the local artists. Some good artwork down there. There's even a Keep Port Moresby colourful campaign advertised. When you do look around the town, it's a little glimpse of what this country could become. Some have acquired some local instruments. Wildlife here, the bird life, the flora, the fauna, one of nature's great attractions here. Got some wonderful butterflies, absolutely enormous. The only bird of paradise I've seen so far has either been on the national flag or the giant mascot going around called Sousa. I think we need to be a little bit more adventurous and go much deeper up north into the island to go and see the real thing. Japan here in white. Those pink numbers may be pretty, I'm not so sure they're very practical. Momiki able to turn. Tracked by Fox. Miyagawa on the outside. To Momiki. Moria. Miyagawa. Hasegawa! Great tip over Murphy. Best move of the match by some distance. Casey Murphy equal to it. Lovely flowing attacking play from Japan. Deft little curler from Hasegawa. Murphy, who cuts a giant figure defending that USA goal. Tagawa's come in for this one. Not the greatest clearance by the USA. Retrieved by Sugita to Miura. Immediately Japan reform their shape. Momiki. And again. Kitagawa. Miura's gone into the middle here. Here is Miura. Well, there are opportunities sometimes, you think, for Japan to maybe have a shot from a little further out. They're playing some very delicate stuff, and at times it's very pleasing on the eye, but it's just a danger of it becoming a little over elaborate at times. That's a lovely flick though. Momiki, Hasegawa, Momiki shot. There you see the swift, incisive cut and thrust of Japan. The back heel from Hasegawa into the path of Momiki. Looking for her 5th goal of the tournament so far. Delightful stuff. To say Japan really controlling the match as a whole, but just nothing to show for it so far. That offside against USA may be unfortunate on them. Here's Miura. USA have done pretty well in guarding those attacks out wide. With just about 2/3 of the possession in the match so far. Both centre-backs forward. Once again the USA throwing themselves in the line of fire. Sugita. Tricky one, and if he can usher it away. Well, if the pattern continues, there's almost a feeling here with the USA, as you see Hasegawa's lovely curling effort here. There's almost a feeling with the USA that they don't really get going until it's almost time up. Trying to contain their opponents until they can pounce, almost like a coiled cobra perhaps, waiting to strike. Saw Ruka Norimatsu on the bench. I have to feel particularly sorry for her missing out on this one today. She was saying at a media conference a couple of days ago how she dreamt as a child of playing against the USA at a World Cup. And here it is with all the matches played. She played every minute of Japan's campaign leading up to today. She misses out. Hirao hasn't really had anything to do apart from one catch earlier on. Foul by Pugh. Clumsy more than anything on Kitagawa. Bit short. So got the head of Sanchez. Here is Isui Haza, Sugita, Ichise, Kitagawa, Miura. Hasegawa's come short, making herself available, and she's almost the link player here between midfield and attack at times. Miyagawa, Ellie Jean, somehow conjured up a clearance for her opponent there, Jean Genie. Sugita. Ichise. Kitagawa. Great defending from also the way she just anchored her feet. Just let the neck muscles do all the work there. Here's Cousins. Cousins and Ogle, the two workhorses, if you like, in central midfield for the USA. Justy Sanchez. G. See, Justy Sanchez. Unique achievement for her this year, having scored in the same calendar year at both the FIFA Under-17 and Under-20 Women's World Cups. Christy Mew is the only other US player to score in both tournaments, but she did it 2 years apart. Now Momiki, lovely stuff from Japan, deflection on the shot. It had Casey Murphy scrambling, Sugita popping up through the middle. And lovely link play here between Momiki and Sugita. Challenge from Jean just took the sting out of it. Two players either side of Hasegawa there, making her look absolutely tiny. Like a little porcelain doll. Is Sugita. Sumida. Moriya's made a good run. Hasegawa glances it. Moriya and Momiki. Now Sumida. Ichise. Kitagawa. Lovely ball. And Hasegawa near post. Unfortunately for Japan, they're not blessed with tremendous height and aerial ability. One of the things the USA have been a bit concerned about is Otto almost lands her team in trouble there. There's the cost to them of set pieces in the tournament. Little slip by Real. Momiki pouncing on the loose one from Jean. And Momiki to Moriya. It's a problem of the USA's own making. And Moriya firing over. Jean's mistake, slip from Real here. It was a weak return. Moriya, who scored the opening goal for Japan in their quarter-final against Brazil. That was Certainly one of their best performances here. They've had 2 defeats on the way to this point. In the group stages against Spain, and then after extra time to France in the semis. Step by Sumida. Here's Ogle. Otto. Very short family names in the USA this year. Fox being the shortest. Jean, Ogle, Otto, Pugh. Here's Sugita. 3 added minutes at the end of this first half. It's the period that the officials automatically allow for the cooling break. Good stretch, Ogle. But it's in midfield where Japan have really controlled things. Aniston beaten to it by Miura. And then Aniston recovering smartly, swiftly. Worked it well. Momiki. Oh, and Murphy onto the frame. Ali Watt rising to her feet on the USA bench here. Momiki just gets there ahead of Jean, and Murphy tipping it onto the crossbar. Well, in fact, it was off the outside of the frame. From my angle, it looked like it was the crossbar. It's actually the pole supporting the net. Super goalkeeping again by Murphy. Smothered away by Mallory Pugh that time. Still Japan launch the shots in on goal. Lovely effort from Momiki, matched by the agility of Casey Murphy. Well, the technical study group will be thinking about contenders for the Golden Glove. Casey Murphy putting in a fine display so far here. Sugita. Now it's opened up for Momiki. Actually run more into the traffic than away from it. Miura can't turn and shoot. Just once or twice you wonder whether Japan could go a little bit more direct on occasions. There's absolutely no doubt which of these two has been the dominant team in this first half. The half-time statistics will make very one-sided reading. Japan, who have been on the prowl, been on the march, and Casey Murphy and the USA's defenders have so far managed to keep Japan at bay. It's not for the lack of effort from Japan, though. We've rarely seen the USA get forward. Really just one occasion when Ashley Sanchez was caught offside. But it has otherwise just about been all Japan in this first half. The third place playoff here. And a chance to get themselves a bronze medal. Korea DPR France to come later on today. But half-time in this match for third place. And it's the USA 0, Japan 0. So the half-time statistics, Japan with nearly 2/3 of the possession, but look at the next two lines. 15 shots to Japan, 5 on target, not a single one from the USA. 5 corners Japan, 1 for the USA. It has been very one-sided, but it's all square at the break. It's the USA 0, Japan 0.